I do have you beat him.
I will whoop your ass.
Bro, I'll pop that gap right back in that mouth. I'll have you looking like a saber gap tooth tiger. Oh my God, I'll do you dirty. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
You suck.
Hey, if I have oh my, here we go.
I don't care.
Not the same fighter. Hey, not the same fighter. Not the same. Hey, when I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say? When I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say?
I was there.
Hey, no, when I put a beat on you. When I'm talking about you, you got no power. You got no power.
And you lost, and you still scared him to this day.
Oh no, you, bro. I'm gonna knock that gap right back in your mouth. I'm gonna knock that gap into your mouth again. Hey, you fix the teeth. You fix the teeth, but I'm gonna knock that right back in. I'm gonna put bam. Yeah, let's do it. Hey. Like back in the days, right?
It's the biggest fight right here.
No, I thought you was bigger than this, bro.
You know I'm not big. Wait, why do you think I was big?
God, oh man.
Wait, good luck.
Shakur Stevenson didn't wait for the dust to settle before jumping straight into a live interview and sending a cold warning directly at Ryan Garcia.
He's right there, Shakur Stevenson. Let's go. Let's run that. Hey, I want to be a great champion, and I'm not scared of. I fought Devin Haney. I'll fight Shakur Stevenson. I'll fight anybody. Let's go.
You know, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan. Shakur Stevenson was on our DAZN broadcast earlier, said he's levels above you right now. What do you think of that?
The thing is, like, you got to have some type of punching power to get me off you, because it'll be a different style, and I'm not going to hit him light. Nah. Every time I get, I'm put it on him, you know? I want that fight. Shakur, let's get it. I see you. Hey, I like the hat. You look fly, but I want that work. Let's get it.
In a calm voice with sharp eyes, he basically made it clear that if Ryan really wants that fight next, he's not just getting outboxed, he's getting knocked out in brutal fashion.
Shakur versus Ryan. I think he wiped the floor with him. You know, I don't think Ryan gonna be able to hit Shakur like Barrios. Barrios was right there to be hit. Barrios was too slow. Barrios didn't have no game plan. He followed them the whole fight. And Shakur is not going to be that fighter to be hit on.
And the scary part? He said it like a man who had already visualized the ending. No theatrics, no yelling, no music, just that composed assassin energy, which honestly lands harder than loud trash talk ever could.
What can we expect from a fight?
We're very fast. You're going to see people that are quick, back and forth. And Shakur knows that he can't get lazy with me at all. That's why, like, he was looking at me right now and goes, "Ooh, you're not even big." I'm like, "Bro, you were scared if I was big? That's crazy. Like, that's what you were scared of?" All right. So I got a little glimpse on what he was kind of worried about. But size don't win fights at all. You seen that today. Mario was bigger than me. But I was...
Meanwhile, right after the win over Mario Barrios, Ryan didn't celebrate like a man who was satisfied. He grabbed the mic with adrenaline still buzzing and immediately called out Shakur, talking about stripping away the so-called savant aura and proving speed beats slickness when the lights shine brightest.
What happens in a Shakur fight? How does it end in your opinion? Decision, knockout?
We'll hit him with a body shot, he's done.
Why the body shot?
He can't take this body shot. We already know.
Really?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a better jab than my son. My son has an awesome jab. We beat him in the amateurs, okay, with the jabs. When Ryan was young, Ryan was only 16 years old, but he qualified 17, 18 with Shakur. Shakur was on that level. So if you're within 2 years, they're gonna put you in that category, okay? And I said, Ryan, we didn't know Shakur, they didn't know us, but I said, you know what, Ryan, let's work on that jab. And Ryan was throwing that beautiful jab, pop, pop, pop. I said, okay, that's what we're gonna work on. Let's start off there.
Shakur spoke like a surgeon predicting damage. Ryan spoke like a storm demanding the biggest challenge available.
I'm open to all those, you know, whatever. You know, Shakur, somebody that I fought in the amateurs, and we went at it, you know, and I felt like I beat him. But, you know, the politics in the USA boxing at the time were a little different, and I still got a chip on my shoulder. I've been wanting that rematch for a minute. Hopefully we get it. And, you know, when my hand heals, I'll be looking for that opportunity.
One promised precision punishment, the other promised explosive chaos. And if that exchange becomes reality, we're not just talking about a fight anymore. We're talking about a style collision packed with ego, skill, and pure psychological warfare.
Oscar, apologies if you've already been asked about these two opponents, but what do you think a fight with Shakur Stevenson looks like? They talked about fighting each other next. What do you think that fight would look like?
I love the fight. I mean, look, there's so many options there for Ryan now. everybody wants to fight him. Everybody wants to dethrone the pretty boy, you know? And now that he has a world title, everybody's after him. So yeah, I think it's a matter of just regrouping, let Ryan rest, and he'll make his decision.
That looming Shakur warning about future smoke suddenly got drowned out by raw father-trainer emotion the moment Henry Garcia grabbed the spotlight, because this wasn't calm Victor Lap energy at all. This was years of frustration, criticism, doubt, and redemption pouring through one microphone. The instant Henry shut down the VA rumor talk and called the stories fabricated, it felt like full protective mode activated, not just defending a fighter, but defending his son's credibility in real time.
Ryan's been doing testing his entire career. He's fought for interim titles. When he fought Tank Davis, we were doing VADA testing and it wasn't for a title. He's been testing his entire career. Every single time we set up a fight, we sign a contract, there's VADA testing. There's no such thing as dropping out of VADA testing. So all those stories are just fabricated, people trying to hate on Ryan, and they're just excuses for Haney to feel good about himself. You know, Haney wants to have an excuse as to why he got beat up, and that's it. So it's all nonsense.
Then boom, the temperature spiked when he started firing back at critics like Chris Algieri and others. You could literally hear the emotional investment in every sentence. Not polished PR talk, not media-safe answers, just raw parental pride mixed with competitive vindication. And honestly, when he said, "They don't know my son, I know my son," that line hit harder than any tactical breakdown because that's identity talk, not boxing talk.
Just real quick, I want to go back to the haters because I gotta let this off my chest because I won't be able to sleep. But Chris Algieri, you're a piece of okay? I'm sorry. You and your corny ass partner, okay? Not believing in my son. Sergio Mora, I ran into him and he said, "No, your son made me a believer, so I'm not gonna go too hard on him." Okay? Robert Garcia, weird, man. Oh, my son can't go over 6 rounds. Sorry, dude. They don't know my son. I know my son, okay? And every father should know their son. Like I did.
Meanwhile, Ryan's energy in that same moment felt completely different, calmer, reflective, thanking the team, talking about diet, discipline, conditioning, and how he used to swing without thinking, which low-key confirms the whole new version of Ryan narrative they've been building all camp. One side emotional fireworks, the other side structured gratitude. That contrast is fascinating. Henry was verbally fighting critics while Ryan was crediting the system that rebuilt him physically and mentally.
Hey, well, let me say something real quick. I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions. I know people like to put us together as beef. I guess it sells, but, you know, I don't hold grudges, and I always want to keep positivity, and I just want to say thank you for all that you've done in my career.
There was also subtle appreciation for Golden Boy from Ryan right after all the tension talk, that strategic maturity peeking through the chaos. And when a fighter celebrates growth and preparation instead of just the result, while the father unloads years of defensive passion, it creates this layered post-fight atmosphere where victory feels less like an ending and more like a personal statement to everyone who doubted the process.
Let's go. Well, the answer to your question is, yeah, I know he did it for me, but I told him before, we had dinner last night, and I said, "You know what, Ryan?" I said, "I appreciate that." I said, "But you know what? You've already won."
That proud, emotionally charged father energy from Henry suddenly shifted frequency when Joe Goosen started speaking, because now the tone moved from protective passion to calm, surgical honesty. And honestly, that contrast was fascinating in real time. Goosen casually opening with humor about Gummis set a relaxed vibe, but the moment he said that's exactly how Ryan fights, it sounded like veteran acceptance, not surprise, not excuses.
What's your question?
What were your thoughts on Ryan's performance?
Look, that's exactly how Ryan fights. That's exactly how I knew he was going to fight. We tried to prepare for it as best we could. I think, you know, aside from that knockdown in the first round and a few other shots Ryan landed, we blocked a lot of his shots. Ryan obviously outscored us.
Just a trainer acknowledging the stylistic reality they walked into. Then he admitted they prepared for the speed, the footwork, the trickiness, and still pointed out that Ryan outscored them. That line hits harder than any dramatic headline because it's composed truth, not emotional spin. He even broke down the inside clinching and foot movement like a coach replaying the chessboard in his head, and I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, that's a technical red disguised as politeness.
He's tricky. He's great on his feet. He'll tie you up on the inside because that's not his favorite place to be. And then he'll move around and walk you into some shots. And if you stall out on him, he'll come and get you. You know, he's smart. He's smart. And he's fast. And he's fleet of foot. So he's got a lot going for him. His
But the subtle jab came when he mentioned the first round knockdown and a few other shots, because that phrasing quietly tells you momentum moments mattered more than volume narratives. Then he pivoted to size and weight drain for Barrios at 147, and you could hear the careful balance, not making excuses, yet highlighting physiological reality like a seasoned strategist protecting his fighter's dignity. The coldest moment came when he said, "You don't really train Ryan, you collaborate with him." That's layered. Translation: Ryan is instinct-driven, self-styled, and unpredictable even to elite trainers. And when Goosen admitted he was needling Ryan mid-fight just to spark a reaction, that's veteran mind games, subtle psychological warfare, almost playful but calculated. Still, he gave Ryan full credit, called him champion, praised his speed and ring IQ, and showed genuine respect for Barrios' toughness and effort. No bitterness, no chaos, just composed realism after a high-stakes fight. One camp emotional vindication, the other analytical acceptance.
Ryan, I've known Ryan for many years, and I got to tell you, Mario Barrios is a fine young man. I love the kid. He's really a wonderful, classy human being, Mario Barrios, and so is Ryan. We're all friends. It's a small community, the boxing community. So I'm happy for Ryan, and I'm sad for Mario Barrios. You know, he put a lot of work. Jonathan and I trained Mario, and we put in close to 3 months of a training camp with him, and it was serious, hard work. We were doing round after round of training. Now, I will tell you, and I don't make excuses for anybody, Mario, you saw how much bigger he is than Ryan. He had to make 147 pounds. I think it's going to be the last time.
That calm, almost professor-level honesty from Goosen saying Ryan does what he wants suddenly snapped into a completely different cinematic gear when Wade jumped in screaming domination. And I'm sitting there thinking the analytical respect from the losing corner and this explosive breakdown are actually describing the same reality from two emotional angles colliding at once. Wade said Ryan started the fight like the world was watching, facts, because the way he stormed center ring wasn't just aggression, it was psychological ownership. Like he clocked in early and never clocked out. Then he kept hammering the jab to right hand sequence, and I'm nodding because that backs the entire narrative shift. This wasn't left hook merchant Ryan. This was upgraded, calculated violence with set-up layers. And when Wade pointed out that first right hand hurting Barrios instantly, that's the quiet turning point nobody can spin away. Momentum didn't gradually build, it detonated. I also find it interesting how he admitted Barrios' toughness while still calling it a wash, which matches Goosen's earlier tone of acceptance without excuses.
Mario Barrios, one tough SOB. He was not going to get knocked out in the first round, and come to find out he wasn't going to get knocked out at all, but that was a tone setter for the fight. And it was like, from that moment on, Ryan had almost zero issue with Barrios, and Barrios had no answers for anything Ryan was doing. And again, I told you, go back and watch my video. Yes, the left hook was prevalent and it landed in this fight and Ryan was devastating with it, but it would be the right hand. It would be the hand that everyone forgot that Ryan Garcia had. And one, to be fair, he hadn't shown had been as devastating as his lead hand for a very long time. That would be the difference maker.
But the spicy part was Wade saying boxing needed this Ryan. That's not just hype, that's industry psychology. A violent, dominant, locked-in Ryan reintroduces star power and unpredictability in one package, and let's be real, that sells narratives better than any safe performance ever could. Then he pivoted to Shakur watching closely, and suddenly the conversation shifted from celebration to danger. Now we're talking speed and explosiveness versus surgical control. Wade questioning whether this version of Ryan could shock Shakur again. Bold take, risky take, entertaining take, especially when he mentioned the evolved right hand and sustained 12-round intensity, which low-key dismantles the old mentality issue storyline piece by piece. Still, here's the chaotic truth, domination over Barrios proves world level, but Shakur is a different puzzle stylistically. Not a durability test, a thinking test. And if this newly disciplined, violent Ryan with a functioning jab and right hand shows up again,
It was shocking to see Barrios dominated like that. Like Barrios has been stopped, right? He's been beaten, but there was no pillar to post beating that I've ever seen anyone put on Mario Barrios like Ryan Garcia did tonight. And again, the variety in the shots, upstairs, downstairs, the lead hook, he would frame with the jab, which is something I love when fighters do. He would 1-2-1 and frame with that lead hand. And then when Barrios got past the lead hand, bang, left hook, pivot out, right hand. It was like he had an answer for everything Barrios.
Because now the conversation has evolved from can Ryan stay focused to can this upgraded, violent, disciplined Ryan solve the most technical puzzle in boxing? And that's where it gets cinematic. Power versus precision. Instinct versus control. Chaos versus calculation. If this trajectory continues, the Barrios fight won't be remembered as the climax, it'll be remembered as the ignition point of a much bigger collision waiting at the elite level. Now the real question is simple but dangerous. Does Ryan's explosive evolution crack Shakur's surgical defense, or does Shakur's IQ completely neutralize that momentum? Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bush Evolved.